appointment for the Co-Interim Library Director as second. Are there any objections to that? Since these are the items that are on the agenda, but just the order in which they're presented.
So what do you want? You want a motion to change the agenda?
Yes. The order, just the order. Not to change the agenda, just the order.
I make a motion to
Remove.
what? Remove. What's the difference?
On the chairman, that's the way you're supposed to present.
Supposed to say move and not make a motion?
Correct.
I looked at it. Okay, I move that we change the order of the agenda item. Make B A and A B.
Is there a second?
I second that.
It's been motion and second. Discussion?
So, Trustee Witherspoon.
Yes.
Trustee Maxey.
Yes.
Treasurer Etcher.
Yes.
Chair Richardson.
Yes.
Secretary Allen, yes. So that's what it is.
I'm second.
And it's a-
Okay. All right. At this point in time, we have the first person that's with us, I believe is Stephanie McCoy. And Stephanie, come to the podium.
And I thought we were going to switch to approval of freelance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize. Mr. Escalon,
Hello, may I ask who's in attendance?
I'm sorry.
Who's in attendance today?
We have 5 or 6 board members that are here.
Okay, perfect. So, a little history about who I am and why I was asked to assist the Pontiac Public Library in their search for a director is, for one, I'm born and raised in Pontiac, and I've been a recruiter at my current company for 20 years. And prior to that, I was about 2 years as a direct hire headhunter for a company. So HR and recruitment is what I do. So with that, I was approached to see if I could assist Pontiac Public Library in their ongoing search for a director. And of course, because of that connection, I said, absolutely, I would. So with that, I submitted a proposal for a fee-based and hourly-based search contract. So with that, even prior to signing any type of contract, I have been reaching out to candidates in a search for the library director. And if accepted, I would like to just kind of give you guys a synopsis of what I've come across so far, if that's okay.
Okay, I'm fine with that since you're supposed to be doing a presentation. Does anyone have any objections in doing this presentation and to his findings?
No.
Okay, you may proceed.
All right, so great. I have reached out and sent emails to both local and out-of-state candidates. The out-of-state candidates were ones that were already submitted to the library for review. And one primary person that really was a star on her resume, when I reached out to her, some of the issues that would have been very difficult for her to make a transition or a relocation to Michigan, which is one of the first things I wanted to address. And I had asked previously, but haven't been able to get it yet, the benefit information for the Pontiac Public Library. But this particular person, and I believe you guys have her resume, it's Elizabeth Johnson from Twin Falls, Idaho. I spoke with Elizabeth, and she informed me that Pontiac is a demographic base that she's very familiar with in working with, and would be willing to relocate to Michigan, as she spent 4 years in Bowling Green, Ohio. So she is familiar with the metropolitan Detroit area. But in discussing the intangibles as it relates to relocating, where she's at currently in Twin Falls, Idaho, and she is the current, I think, associate director at a school. But anyway, what she would have to overcome is healthcare for one person currently is only costing her $55 per month. And she only pays $500 a year for car insurance, where in Michigan, the majority of the people, especially in the red line areas, even after the adjustment to the Michigan no-fault laws, most people are paying close to $1,500 a month every 6 months. And she's only paying $500 a year for car insurance and $55 per month for health care. So the reason it's important to have that information when reaching out to potential candidates, so we can not only talk about what the salary would be, but also talk about what the benefits, costs, and other items would be. How would we be able to sell Pontiac Public Library as well as the city of Pontiac? So we need to be able to discuss the cost of healthcare, how many vacation days they would get, what type of sick time would accrue, and all of the other things under a full benefit package. And that's information I don't currently have. I did speak to a couple other people, one person out of Southgate Library who felt that he just was not qualified at this time to pursue that type of position. Spoke to another person who the healthcare is costing her $400 a month. She's in Jackson, but she didn't have any previous grant or fundraising experience, and she's currently one of the branch directors or branch managers out of Jackson. I guess as we have Detroit branches of the Detroit Public Library, Jackson has branches under the Meyer name. Their libraries are under the Meyer name. So she is a Meyer branch manager. One other person that you guys had already interviewed, I spoke with, and she actually had free health care, but she removed herself from the running for the library. And then another gentleman that I'm assuming was a gentleman, might not have been a gentleman. Name was Jordan. That person inquired about the previous director's termination and the gossip that surrounded that termination. So, or the rumors that surrounded that termination. And I can just read that email to you, which
You don't have to do that.
okay. So just to let you know, I have been reaching out to candidates. There's some things that we would have to be able to address and be able to sell the Pontiac Public Library in order to get strong, qualified candidates. And I don't know if the board was aware that also Southfield Public Library is looking for a director as well at the same time. So not only are Pontiac being in Oakland County seeking a director, there is another library that's also seeking a director at the same time. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, what I've been able to do in the last week or so. And I have another person that just reached out to me today who said that she didn't have an opportunity to respond to my email last week, but that she will take a look at the email and the job description that I forwarded to her, hopefully this evening or over the weekend, and get back to me. And she was out of Livonia, I believe. So that's my report as of today.
At this point in time, thank you very much. I'd like to ask if any board members would like to address at least one question for Mr. Islam as we continue to move forward. The chair recognizes Trustee Witherspoon.
Mr.
Eston.
That's not,
You can call me Jim. I go by first name.
okay. Can you describe for us, it may be helpful if you could, what methodology or process you're using in identifying the candidates? Where are you looking? Are you looking at any trade organizations? Like, how are you identifying these candidates? Will you identify them?
What I did most recently is do a direct search for libraries within a range surrounding Michigan. So I just, surrounding Pontiac. So right now what I did was just reach out to libraries within, I think it was Oakland, Macomb, and possibly Wayne County. And I just went into the library, online, of course, and went into what you call headhunting mode, went into the libraries and found out who were the assistant or who reported to the library director. So those would be the ones that would be in line for a directorship position. So I made contact with, I think I reached out to maybe 20 candidates. All of these emails went out on June 9th. So I reached out to about 20 candidates between June 9th and June 10th and made contact with those that were assistant directors or somehow fell underneath the library director as a report. So those would be the ones that would be in line or looking for their next move.
Anyone else? The chair recognizes Trustee Witherspoon again.
So is there any reason that you're not looking for people that are currently holding director positions, even at smaller libraries that may be looking to expand to a larger library?
Well, right now, without the information I need to be able to hold a full conversation with someone, and with most library directors already at or above the pay scale that Pontiac Public Library is offering, I wanted to make sure that that person will be looking and would be able to have a pay increase, because generally a person isn't going to make a move without getting at least an 8 to 12% increase in pay. And then if you include the cost of benefits, it would have to be at least 8 to 12% increase in pay, including the cost of healthcare and additional vacation time, sick time accruals, 401k or 401b, whichever the library has. So it's a lot more than just pay what comes in the paycheck. It also has to deal with everything else that involves your benefit package.
I recognize trustee.
So I understand that you don't have the full benefits picture, which I wouldn't expect you to have since you were formally working on this or approved by the board. In your review of the candidates that you've spoken with, you shared what some of their objections might be or concerns might be, but you haven't shared why, what had you, choose to speak to those people and bring them forward. So is that going forward, should you be formally initiated on this search, is that something that we can expect? You would be bringing forward resumes and explaining to us why you thought this was a viable candidate?
Why I thought it was a viable candidate?
Yeah, so what is the process that you will employ when reviewing resumes with the search committee?
Well, I wouldn't submit a candidate to the board if I didn't think it was a viable candidate. I wouldn't waste your time just tossing resumes at you, because if I wanted to do that, I got a stack right here I could toss at you. So
I understand. I'm not insinuating that you would. What I'm asking is, what can we expect in terms from you when you submit a resume? Are you gonna, what will be shared?
you would get salary expectation. I would have vetted them to make sure that they would already be willing to work for a Pontiac Public Library. I guess I really don't know what you're asking.
I guess my concern is, I know that you were working with limited information. And when you were presenting the resumes you shared already, you were sharing, their name, where they currently work, that kind of thing, but you weren't getting into why you thought, hey, this would be a great candidate, or why I would bring this person forward. So I just want to make sure as we move forward, that's the type of information that we're getting that the search committee is getting, why you feel that it's a viable candidate.
Because
you would be the only person that have talked to the candidate.
From their previous work experience, like I addressed to you, one candidate that I spoke to felt that they just didn't have the experience to be a director. The other one said that she didn't have any grant writing experience. So it's these type of things that I know on the checklist what a basic director would be able to and be responsible for doing, as opposed to just calling someone that's a brand new librarian without any managerial or grant writing or scheduling or finance experience.
Okay, thank you.
Questions?
He's talked about salary range. What has he been told as far as what the salary was? Because when he posted it, it was the salary was open, but he seems to be working to a different understanding.
When we posted it, did we have a range on it, or we just left it open?
I was told 80.
Okay. And that probably is my fault, okay? Because if it was left open, then that would be what you should negotiate in the future. It's based on the open salary. You said, first I said negotiable, but it's open salary. So that does not limit you, but in terms of what we have in the budget in our proposed budget for 22-23, I think there's a max out there, but it is open. So that's about what we want.
Open salary does not give you a range. You can't say open when talking to somebody. You need a cap. Any salary scale has a range,
Right.
whether it's hourly or salary.
And that was something that we had talked about before. Even those of us that have worked in educational institutions and other places. I gave an example, it would be like from 60 to 85,000, but they just wanted to go over, that's what they were doing. So based on that, you're saying that you don't normally do open, then I think we have to go look at that again and move forward. So I'm glad you brought that up. But that's
So
at this point. So again, you're stating that you don't use open because
you when talking to someone about salary range or salary expectation, if they say, well, my salary expectation is 100K a year on a salary, we're strictly just talking salary, not the benefits. 100K a year, but the library's budget only allows for an 85K salary. You cannot say, well, salary is open. So that's why a director position, any position for any job in any industry has a range. And the range is normally based on years of experience and degree or title. So you could say the salary range is 80 to 100K. And the people that hit the 80K will be a first year, brand new first position director that maybe just graduated a year ago with their library director certification or whatever it's called. A 100K person might have already been an assistant director, or possibly, like was mentioned earlier, they may have been a director at a class 2 library. Now they're moving up to a class 6 library at 100K.
okay.
So we can't say open. You're going to have a range, and the range is going to be based on experience and title possibly, but range is based on experience. First year, 70K. A 5-year associate director or director at a class 2, class 3 library, then they may get 95K. But you need a range.
Right. If there's no further questions, at this point in time, I would need a motion to accept him as our researcher for the library director.
I make the motion that we accept. I can't pronounce his name.
Jimmy Esler.
Yeah. We accept his proposal and his work experience. I didn't hear anything about academics, however, I'm satisfied with what he has presented. So I make that motion we accept.
Do you have a second? Second. That's the motion is second. We have some discussion. I would just like to say that based on what some of the board members have indicated, that what's in your freelance proposal, that we might specify a few things in there, and then just, do that. Then once we accept that, then based on that, we accept you to continue the search. That's just a discussion. Any other discussion?
I don't know,
I
I don't know if I'm looking at his most recent agreement. There was a section in here that talked about expenses, I believe, and that
$140.
no, any expenses that he might incur, and that they automatically be approved and if they're over $100, and I don't feel comfortable blindly approving expenses without understanding what they are.
Okay. So that's our discussion, Jimmy. So did you hear what she said in respect?
Yeah, okay, so, let's stop being professional for a minute. I'm from Pontiac. I'm gonna do what I can to help you guys find a library director. When it gets to, I've already spent like maybe 7-8 hours researching and trying to find contacts and things like that. But as I kind of mentioned before to you, Rosie, I want to see Pontiac succeed. So I'm gonna do what I can. So that is a blanket, generic contract that I submitted to you guys. I haven't even taken any notes on billing. I got emails. I can have a timestamp on things that I've done. But other than that, until I can really find a viable candidate that's willing to work for the city of Pontiac and come on board, that's when I'll start making notes of time spent. Because like I mentioned earlier today, we're going up against City of Southfield Public Library that's looking for a librarian, and they're a class 6 also. And the city of Pontiac, what I would like for the board to do to help me help you guys, besides providing me with the benefit, the full benefit package, I need to know 401k information or 401b, whatever it is. I need to know healthcare costs. I need to know vacation time, all of these type of things, that these are conversations I can have with people prior to even presenting it to the board, because I need to be able to get that out the way and be able to say, okay, well, it's not a fit. Because the one lady from Idaho or whatever it was, she was like, yeah, I barely pay anything for my healthcare as it is, and I only pay $500 a month for my car insurance. She already knows what it's like in Detroit area for car insurance. So I need the board to help me help you guys in this search. And with that, this could just be an email. With that, I would like to know what is in the 2 to 5 year plan for the city of Pontiac, for the library, for rehab or new construction, even if it's just paving the parking lot, those type of things that I would like to know what is on the board's plan for repairs and developments and things like that, so that I can possibly have these conversations with people that help sell the Pontiac Public Library.
And that's fine. And I think the only thing is that, and I appreciate you and I respect you, and I believe that your 20+ years experience in doing this, that you can assist us. But I think one of the things in terms of maybe you could tweak a couple of things, like be more specific with that $100 that she was talking about for expenses being approved.
We can take that out.
Okay.
Like I said, that was just a generic formatted thing. The only thing I really changed in there was added in there was maybe the pricing. So we can take that out, because I don't really have any expenses. Driving up to Pontiac, we do everything in Zoom, and I go visit my mom up in Bloomfield. So the expenses are, we can take that out if that's a problem. I won't really have any expenses.
All right, so is there anything else for discussion? Chair recognizes trustee Witherspoon.
Under the term, it says it's for a 30-day period. Is that accurate? It says it's a 30-day search that he'll be doing.
Let's ask that question. Jimmy, is it 30 days that you're going to give us, or is it a projected period of time? But if it goes beyond 30 days, then we have.
I think 30 days is on there.
Okay.
And that gives you guys a chance, because this isn't a you can only use me type of situation. This is just an additional person in assisting you guys I can't think of the proper word for it, but it's not a dedicated contract that you can only use me in a search. The 30 days is just like, okay, Jim, you're not working out. We don't want to see or talk to you ever again. Bye type of situation. That just gives you 30 days to say, we don't want you anymore. But all you got to do is say, hey, Jim, it's not working out, but I appreciate your effort.
That's it? Yeah, okay. So I guess on that note, we will address the trustee, treasurer, Hatchett.
Okay, I heard him say some things that we gotta do before he can do the job that he needs to do. So are we looking at trying to do that in the very near future? Because, he's talking about benefits and a base salary. And he needs that information to help with his recruiting.
Exactly.
So I would say that that's something that we can request Edmund to have in your possession, and he can forward also to the board within the next 5 business days.
Well, I don't see that you putting the whole responsibility on Edmund, or are we going to do input in terms of giving some direction?
Well, this information is already in place in terms of this is just something you just need to pull. Am I correct, Edmund? The information as far as the questions that he was requesting, because we gave him some basic health information and stuff, but there's some other specifics that he was requesting. And I think like the vacation days and all that, would probably, is that in the employee handbook or is that in the director's? That was in the director's contract. Well, I can pull it up from, and I believe that's something that is provided by our labor attorney. And I can make that request tonight. And if it's not there, then we go back in the employee handbook or wherever we need to do to make sure in the next 5 business days we have that information for you.
Okay, because I don't think it should be totally on Edmund. It's our decision in terms of the range in salary, whether it's going to be from 60 to 80,000. As far as what the benefits would be, we would have to be the ones, I think, that would have to come up with that and prove it to give to him, because Edmund is an employee, and I think all the salary stuff falls on the board.
Excuse me, Rosie?
Yes.
Can you share, I don't know if you can print it out now, but at the end of the meeting, can you share that summary of benefits from my company that I sent to you? That just it's just a quick infographic of what our basic benefits are. And that's all I'm looking for, is the stuff that's on there.
Can you send it to me again, and that way I can send it to him right now? And then I'll just share it with everybody so that they can have it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, the chair recognizes trustee.
Listen very carefully and listen to what Jim has said. Also heard Maggie, and I totally agree with you. There are some things, that information that he hasn't got. This board need to prioritize and get that together. Lack of information always don't render a good decision. Tonight I'm hearing different questions. Fine, for us to know exactly what we require and fit in, the information need to go forward, not as one, not as two, to go in perspective. Until we just have information, I can't see a good decision being made. I agree with what the treasurer has said. We have to do certain things. and in quality. So the district planning, we have to get this thing.
So collectively, within the next 5 business days, that, you know, and we start that on Monday because we're kind of overwhelmed with this summer reading event that's starting on Saturday. They have to get that done. So starting Monday, collectively, any information that any board member has and including admin that we would have available to you by the end of 5 business days starting on Monday. We agree with that. That's just a comment. So we have a motion on the floor. Okay, we initially have a second. So based on our discussion, can we move forward with having that information in place by 5 business days so we know we're moving forward? So we do a roll call.
Well, trustee Maxey,
Yes.
trustee Metrick,
Yes.
Chair Richardson,
Yes.
trustee Livingston,
Yes.
secretary Allen, yes.
That's been. We need a second as well.
It's been approved.
Okay, Ms. Esma, we will have that information to you by the end of 5 business days, starting on Monday as the first business days. If you can give us, in addition, provide myself and the information I can share with the rest of the board as the specific things that you're looking for, so we can do the research and have it to you by the end of business day on
I
Friday.
just emailed it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, I just emailed it to you.
Okay, well, thank you very much and welcome aboard.
Thank you. So one last thing before I go. I know that you had mentioned that it's imperative to try to get somebody in by end of month. I doubt if that's going to happen.
We understand that we already have a strategy for that.
Okay. Okay.
So,
All right.
all right. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Okay, look forward to working with you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Okay, can you see if we have another person that's been added on to the Zoom call? Oh, they're there? Oh, okay. All right, at this time, we'll go ahead with, we're working with changing the agenda around. So we want to have a conversation with Stephanie McCoy.
Stephanie
McCoy,
McCoy.
yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
Is there a light in the tunnel over there? Or is it out? So you can see it.
Jim, speak loud.
Good evening.
Stephanie McCoy.
Stephanie, I'm here regarding the position of Co-Interim Library Director.
Yes, I am.
Okay, we have a host of questions. Would you like to start off, trustee Witherspoon?
Yes. Well, let me say this. I was not aware we were talking to outside.
Share this with you. It's one of the things if we do have someone from outside, is that we still will be left with a position that needs to be filled. Because if we have someone internally, we still have a library director position that would have to be filled. So rather than go through all of that, it makes sense to have someone to go as an interim person outside of that and to interview someone to take that person's full-time position. For example, if you chose, okay, but I'm just saying, if we did that, we still have to hire a full-time person to take that other position, because she couldn't really ask questions. But I'm just trying to clarify for her why we're not doing internal, because if we remove one of those people, then we have to hire somebody full-time in that position.
So there was a decision made that was not made by this group. You understand that interviewing external candidates, and they're here now, so that's fine. But that decision should have been made by this group, not then told to us in the midst of interviews. So that's my concern.
She was here last time.
She was here last time. However, there was conversation that was not discussed with us as a board, that we would be interviewing external candidates. We didn't get an update that we decided not to pursue, internal candidates for whatever reason. That just wasn't communicated. So this is a surprise to me. So my question would change, because I would like her to introduce herself and tell us about her background, because I don't know her at all. And no offense to you, ma'am, I'm sorry about that, but this is.
I'd like to respond to, what happened, Chanel, is the other, internal person, he withdrew.
Okay.
So we have no internal person that was interested. There was two people qualified, and they both decided that they didn't want to do it. So we didn't have any internal person.
And I can appreciate that and respect that. It's just that we were not made aware. Maybe you guys were. I was not made aware. So this is a surprise to me. So when you ask, what questions do we want to ask? My questions will be different based on someone that has known that I don't know. Maybe has a history of library that I don't know.
Minutes should reflect what was said, discussion. Or should have, since the two people that weren't interested is part of the minutes. And other comments, we all sit here and we did discuss. We did discuss why the person wants, why the people weren't interested. I took it back. We did say one, it's flat no. The other I didn't understand, but as the minutes are taken by a secretary, and I thought things were clear as to why we ended up today with someone, young lady coming before as a co-interim director. I thought we had that somewhere. I really did, as was explained, but the minutes can't reflect that. We discussed that to all four of us, and I thought it was unanimous that what we have today is the interview for the young lady. It was discussed.
That was not discussed. And what was discussed at the conclusion of the last meeting was that there were two other people. So two people had said no, but there were two other people that currently work here that were going to be talked to. So that was at the end of the discussion of the last meeting we had. So if that transpired, I would have expected a communication to come out to all of us and say, hey, those people were talked to, there are no also, we have to go on a different way.
I do that, and I'll take that, but as I indicated, if we took one of those people, the other two people that were not level one, and have them take an interview for the position, then my understanding is that we still have to fill that position because we are a level 6, and that position still have, like the teen librarian or the adult librarian, that position will still have to be filled by someone else.
Yes.
And I understand exactly what you're saying, okay? And I just said that I respect what you said, and I take I'm accountable for saying that I didn't share that part with you. But that is the reality, is that if we don't take someone, if we take someone internally, then we have to go and post for a position for someone to fill that, as opposed to outside candidates that we're interested in.
And I don't even know if that is completely true, like what is that based on? And who did you talk to in regards to that? Did we, just like we talked to our library attorney and to, you know, the state of Michigan library, what are the parameters? There's definitely parameters around a library director, but I don't know if there's parameters for around a senior librarian or something like that, but
Level
This
six
is
is
the point
required.
on Madam Chair, we have the young lady,
yeah.
and here we are discussing what we did here and what we did here.
Point time. I'm
Order,
asking you,
order, we are.
Ms. McCoy, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm
I think we
Stephanie
have a question.
McCoy.
Thank
I'm
you. We
Stephanie
apologize.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm Stephanie McCoy. I'm here as an interest to the co-director position, interim co-director position with that.
Interim.
Yes, interim.
Would you like to share anything else about yourself?
Basically, my background is I started off in library school, graduated with a master's in library and information science, went on to be a branch operations manager upon getting out of library school. Here to Pontiac as a director, soon after the village was passed. So we got the library in order. We had successful programs, community involvement, strategic planning here in Pontiac Public Library. Went on to work at Auburn Hills Public Library as a director. And now I am I work for a law school currently as a library.
You said you were the library director here,
Yes,
the Pontiac Public Library.
yes.
Anything else you'd like to share?
Anything I can do to help, admin and the board. I do have the experience. I have some HR experience, strategic planning. I know you already in the village, so I do have that experience as well. Just helping with the library together up to par so that the village can be successful. Community outreach, we did a lot of that when I was here. We had a lot of successful programs, project management, if you need that done, grant writing, because you need to do that. There's some grant writing that you need done, human resources, so if there's some staff hiring that you need to be done, I can assist in that. We did a lot of that when I was here. Anything else, I mean, you would have to ask me. I have about 20 years of experience in library management and administration. I still also work in administration currently.
Okay, so now we have some background. Ms. Witherspoon, would you like to answer the question?
Sure. When are you available to start?
As soon as possible.
You need to on that? Nope. Okay. So, Ms. Thatcher? Question?
So I have one thing. The years of experience that you have here, firstly in the library, how many years did you serve in the position? Was it permanent or was it interim?
It was perfect.
In the permanent position, total number of years,
It's 2.5, 3.
2.5 years of experience within the operational lines. And how
At Pontiac?
conducted. As a director should conduct him or herself in keeping with all the state regulations guidelines. So 2 years.
No. Are you saying at Pontiac? It's 2.5,
Pontiac,
3 years.
years.
Yes.
Keeping in mind in that position.
Mhm.
Okay. TWO. Thank you.
Secretary,
So. We just thought. Can we just say, go ahead, just give up.
she's a code.
What are your expectations, if interim?
Whatever to do. there's something needed, whatever needed, like I was at the meeting last meeting I was here. I heard some things that you needed done by the co-director, so I know the community, I know the patrons. I still volunteer and fight as much as possible, so. Listening today, there's some things I can bring to the table that you all would need. I'm good to go with that.
Exactly. As far as availability, because I heard you say that you're working now for a law library.
Yes,
What would be your availability as far as being able to work with us?
I'm pretty flexible.
Flexible.
You have another question?
Yes, the transition, like from you've been in library business for 20 years, that's what I think.
Yep.
So in the transition, what made you transition from place to place? So when you left Pontiac, what made you go to the next place in Pontiac Library? Because you would look like you've done a lot of good things.
It was close to home. I had small kids at the time, so it was close to home.
Where's
Oh, wait.
oh,
Any other questions? Okay. At this point in time, we appreciate
I have a question. I saw your name up there on the plaque up on the first floor of the library. What to me?
It was just close to home. There was an opportunity close to home, so I moved closer to home.
Okay, this was close to the home.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, at this point in time, I believe we have one other person that we want to talk to. Thank you very much for your time, we appreciate it. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is your second time.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
again, we apologize for that first time.
It's okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. I like that bag.
Thanks.
I wanted to know. That was my question. What?
Talk out loud, I just said, no. Comments.
The second person, Edna.
The second, yeah, she's on there, she's muted. So
Yeah.
is that Colleen? Is that
Yes,
the
Colleen.
second? So she just needs to unmute. I don't know if you can hear
Go
her.
ahead and see if you can you hear it?
She'll have to do it herself.
It might
Colleen,
be
can
automatic.
you unmute?
It's probably muted from the host.
No.
Comments.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Colleen, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
How was your boat ride?
It was good.
How's your dad doing?
He's doing good.
Good, good. Are we able to see your beautiful face or no?
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me, I'm gonna pull the car over right now,
Okay, we appreciate that.
and then I'll be able to, turn my camera on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Can you see me? I'm kind of in the sun, it looks like.
Okay,
Okay.
can you introduce yourself and give us a little bit of background about yourself, and then we'll pose our questions?
Okay, I'm Colleen Vieira. I have been a Pontiac Public School librarian since 1997, and I retired in 2019. However, I am back again as a Pontiac Middle School librarian. I've been working there for the last 2 years, past COVID, at just Pontiac Middle School though. And so I've got all those years in the Pontiac School District as a librarian. And I've also worked with the Pontiac Public Library throughout my career doing special programming and different events with the Pontiac Public Schools in partnership with the Pontiac Public Library.
Anything else you'd like to share?
I'm sorry?
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
I don't think so. I spent 32 years in the Pontiac Public Schools. I was a band director first, and then I went and got my degree from the University of Michigan in library science. And from there, I was in every level of library in Pontiac schools. I did elementary, middle school. I retired as the high school, Pontiac High School. I was first at Pontiac Northern, and then I was at Pontiac High School when we transitioned, and then I retired as a Pontiac High School and Pontiac Middle School librarian.
Okay, thank you. Our first question is going to come from Trustee Witherspoon.
When would you be available to start work, should you be the selected candidate?
Yes, I'm available now.
Okay, anything else? Trustee Witherspoon?
No, I might have.
Okay. All right, Trustee Maxson, you're right. Trustee Maxson, question?
My question is, how much experience have you had in this area of being an interim? What, I'm not hearing things right. How much experience in your background do you have as far as to the criteria you're looking for library work that you have?
Well, I've run a library for the last 22 years. 22
years experience?
Yes, I've been in charge of a library for all aspects of the library. I've been in charge of the budgeting, ordering, collection development. I've had adult library aides that I've been in charge of, student library assistants. I've been in charge of, every aspect of running a library. I've done for 22 years.
Thank you. What's your availability? What's your availability?
Oh, I'm sorry. I am available. I have a flexible schedule, and I'm available starting whenever you need me to start.
Okay. Secretary Allen?
What are your expectations of the co-interim director?
What are my expectations?
Yes.
Well, I would just like to work with the other interim director and fulfill the needs of the library as best as possible. I'm really good at working with others. I get along well with people. And like I said, I have quite a lot of experience with being in the library, so I'm familiar with it. And so I'm a team player. I would like to do, as a team, work together for whatever needs to be done in the library.
And second question?
You've been in the library for a long time, 32 years. And so you put together a lot of programs and work with a lot of different people. What are one of the biggest needs that you see that need to be met within the community and the children that you work with?
Well, I'd really like to see the Pontiac Public Library, get more. I know you have quite a bit of programming already, but there could be additional programming that could be done for students. And I'd like to try to work with the schools again to try to get kids more interested in, coming to the public library, because I know that's always been a challenge for me as the school librarian, and so I see that as a need. And as far as the adult population, I can't really speak on that.
Any other questions? The chair recognizes trustee Witherspoon.
Do you have any supervisory experience?
Yes, I've supervised all of my adult library assistants and my student library assistants.
Any other questions? Trustee Witherspoon.
Do you currently hold the required library certification for this role?
Yes.
Any other questions? Are you raising your hand and saying?
Yes, I have one more question.
All right, one more question.
Do you have any grant writing or fundraising experience?
Oh yeah. As a band director, I did several types of fundraising. So I have quite a bit of fundraising experience actually.
All right, Colleen, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And as we continue to make a decision here, we'll let everyone candidates know.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having
Drive
me.
safe.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.
Are we going to close the comments?
This is actually not.
Yeah.
We have to
Huh?
vote on somebody.
I mean, after we vote among us all here, we should have some closing comments.
We will,
Yeah,
we gotta do the action.
Oh, okay, I was just asking.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, just as usual, yeah, we'll have a closing comments. Everybody had an opportunity to ask questions. Yeah, they have an opportunity to hear what the candidate says as far as their background and so forth. So at this point in time, is there a motion?
Excuse me, if we have information on Colleen,
They have everything we want, they both.
okay, I just didn't remember Colleen.
Okay.
So we didn't try to say.
Nothing great. Okay, so. Okay, is there a motion?
Closing comments?
I have no.
It's still working on
Yeah.
making a decision on this.
So do you have familiarity with both of them? Like, have you worked with both of them?
I've talked to both of them, and I'm gonna limit my comments, okay? I'm going to limit my comments, okay, because I don't want any repercussions of any.
I mean, we're making a decision based on very limited information. We haven't even seen a resume. So it's rather difficult at this point.
Well, okay, we appreciate your comments, Chair recognizes Treasurer
Here's the thing, we're on limited time.
Right.
I told to keep this library open. Now, if we don't put somebody in place, this library will be closed because we don't have the person there with the qualification because Edmund does not have it. Okay. So, I work for the Pontiac School District, but I don't remember Colleen per se. But I do know that she has a lot of experience. I don't know, I tell you what bothers me is I don't know why.
I'm just saying, you know, what we don't want to do. Still,
I think she's free. I don't know of any HR advice that she could be back in. As long as it's not being personal.
No, it's not personal.
I'm sorry, go ahead, I just want to make sure you.
No, well, this is what I'm gonna do, and we can go up to them. Now, when I said I make a motion, you say no, I move, okay? I move that we, hire, what's Carlene's last name?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Viera? Okay, I move that we hire Carlene Viera for the, Co-Interim Library Director for a period of time until we get up and
Is there a second?
So I didn't hear that.
until we get our permanent
So the name again, you right?
director. Colleen, the last one that was up here. That was up
Yeah.
there.
Oh, Colleen,
Colleen,
I thought I heard that.
So is there, you made a motion, is there a second?
I took it.
If the motion is second, discussion. Let me just say this. I know of both of them. Okay, I can give you the verification on both of them. But I'm gonna keep my comments limited. I do have background information on both. And I would suggest if, okay, I have background information on both. That's what I'm gonna do.
Is it good or bad? I mean, like, I mean, okay. I really like, this is kind of like,
No, we're not.
just picking.
No, we're not. We're not. I have background information on both. And they both have the, credentials for the position. The chair recognizes that our treasurer,
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I'm supporting Colleen. Number one, I like the idea of, her, she said something about trying to get the school district involved, making a connection with the school district to try to motivate the library. Two, I think that she has an awful lot of experience. And three, I think she is neutral as far as running this library. No connection of people who are here now. I watched doing this interview, I watched nonverbal communication. I'm not going to tell y'all who it's between, but I watched nonverbal communication. And that bothered me. It bothered me. So I think that Colleen would be a best person for the position.
22 years in any position puts you in place for ups and downs. Decision making, you don't stay on a job, that particular job, or in that arena. And sometimes that technique, I sort of get beside ourselves. It's not proven concept. Retract that. Based upon the fact, one of the facts, the 22 years of experience, what Trustee Patrick has said about interest in the school district, bringing that collaboration together because we are apart 2,500 miles. Her experience is what we caught my ear. You don't do a place. OJT learning something, it's not my bad. It's not my bad. Experience is what you get. Again, if you're in that area, been there for years, you've got to know something, otherwise you would not be. And that's something pertaining to mission, goals, objectives, and making sure wherever you work that those policies, guidelines, and everything was followed. So that's why I said yes. 22 years, you just don't sit around and be a dum-dum.
I said 30-something years.
Yes, she did 32 years, she tried to.
Don't sit around, you know.
Any other comments? Can we finish with a discussion? At this point in time, Angela, could you do a roll call, please?
All right, Trustee Maxey.
Look, here's what they bothered me tonight.
We're voting now, we're right at this, so we just.
I can't wait until my comments, because I'm still upset about this. Yes.
Okay. Trustee Witherspoon. Yes. Treasurer Hesketh.
Yes.
Okay, Chair Richardson.
Yes.
Okay, Secretary Allen.
Okay,
So that's been and approved.
okay, thank you. We will, give her something in writing. Okay, and, we can do it to start with.
Okay, now the thing I want to add, okay,
Question?
yeah, just like the recruiter asked us, are we going to discuss salary or?
Actually, when we were starting on this journey, I asked the labor attorney, Matthew Derry, to do a generic contract. I'll send it to each of you so you can review it. And I mean, do you want to talk about this now? I mean, because this is a special meeting, we've done what's on the agenda, so we're not supposed to do anything else. Okay.
What is the agenda call?
I mean, I think it's part
I mean,
of it.
that's a part of it, but I'm saying to you, there is a contract, a generic contract that he drew up as co-interim director. Okay, and so I was thinking based on, them working somewhere about 10 hours a week.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, spell out the role, because when you say co-director,
No, and Edmund gave us, a list of 12 things. I looked at
what
it,
do you give us?
he gave it to me.
'Cause I haven't seen it.
I'll send it to you. I just reviewed it, and I'll send it to you. And I'll show you that I said it's gonna, 12 things, there would be 6 things. And then the expectation, because one thing we had on there was anything that the board wanted every person to do. Okay, so, I don't have that, but I'll forward that tonight, and I'll forward you the contract, it's blank, and it's supposed us to fill in. And I would think that we would, consider offering them, a rate of pay hourly, and a number, perhaps like 10 hours a week. Okay. And, because
Now, will 10 hours a week satisfy the state requirements? Is that enough? If
and
that's
that's all, and that's what I'll
co-director,
go back and ask Mr.
yeah, we
I'll
sure
ask- I'll-
that we,
I'll ask Mr. Hammond, I'm just giving you an idea. And if Mr. Hammond requires more, then I will notify the board and the board will go. The contract has not been done, so nothing is in the contract now, other than just the open generic contract. It has no figures in it or time frame or anything in it. It's just simply a generic contract, because I thought we were gonna have it done in the last meeting. So he hurried up before the holiday, Memorial Day, and sent that to us. So there's nothing negative other than the fact that it's generic. So if anybody has something that they want to put in there, you absolutely can do that and send it to me. Yes,
I was just gonna say, I think we should speak to Ed and see respectfully what he thinks and what needs to be done up there. But we might be helping more to keep hours.
so he gave, like I said, he gave us a list. Okay.
I mean, he knows what it takes time to hours.
Well, again, we want to see, because we only have so much money in the new budget that we need to approve, okay? That can be allocated for a co-interim director.
In that new budget, then we knock some stuff off, like if we did them hire certain people, then we would have to do that.
Okay. Yes,
With Edmund, he's functioning as the interim director and he's still filling his role as circulation.
no,
He's not doing that because he writes the reports for the circulation. I mean, they're paid by him, so it seems as though he's doing 2 workers. So make that comment for a number of reasons, but for the record, he does pay the reports for us.
right,
That will.
yes, the chair.
No, I'm just reading to them.
So,
Your comment.
well, I
chair, okay,
okay, my main concern is to make sure that she's aboard the number of hours that will keep us qualified for our state service.
Right,
And I have to see, I don't know what I did with, you said Edmund gave us something. This thing,
he gave it to me. I said, I'm gonna forward it to you.
oh,
I'm forwarding it to you. Okay, so you can see what his expectations are. Okay?
what else were you forwarding to us?
The contract, the contract. Or the contract,
The joint contract.
the blood contract that Attorney Durden created for us, so like I said, I thought we needed to have in place by May 30th, and then we found out we had to do some time. But we had it already, so we have a generic one with no numbers, no dates, no amounts or anything. Yes.
The information that's slide to go to the recruiter, the actual benefits package, administrative to the private plan, and the salary range, will you share that with us before you send it to them?
No, yeah, absolutely, because I want everybody's input, whatever you have, because, basically with the strategic plan, we don't have one in place. Okay, so are you gonna take what we had from before and generically pull some stuff out there from your committee to share with them?
My committee was directed RFP, but I think what we could share with the candidate is they have the unique opportunity at this point to be
A part
in
of
place and be part of setting the
the
strategic
strategic
plan.
plan. Okay, and so send that to me for email, and I'll make sure that we have that.
Okay.
Okay, and then let them know that we're also in the process of getting, we have an RFP out for a consultant to work with us for the strategic plan. Okay? Anything else? Okay, at this point in time, we're gonna have closing remarks, and Mr. Massey, we're gonna start with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. I haven't called a point of order for years. Anytime we have a subject matter, anytime we're in discussion, now the young lady's still there, and here we are saying what we don't do, what we should not do, and she's on the floor for our interview. That is not a good reflection of what her mindset is. Anytime we have a lot of questions or etc., make it appropriate. Point of orders are called when you get off the subject matter. I understand director, not the student calling the chairperson. There's a lot going on, and I understand that. But I think if we listen and we judge our comments, I felt embarrassed. I really felt embarrassed. Because it just doesn't make sense. We all have questions. We want to talk about human resources. For 40 years, I've been in human resources forever. And I think we should gauge our question. What it looks like is that second guessing of the chairperson. That's what it looks like to me. Second guessing. And I said second guessing because a lot of times the chair have not had an opportunity to express, and we're ahead of time. Sit back and relax. And then it will come out in the end. But I hope I never sit in another meeting. And that was embarrassing to me. To have her hear that, as if we haven't got ourselves together. No. I suggest that we keep our questions in order and appropriately ask them. When we talk, like I said about experience, I've been around, I got 40 years of experience. Started with General Motors, started with Oakland County, sitting in 1,000 board meetings. But respect of your chairperson has to be not to second guess. That's the second thing I've heard, the second guessing. I might not agree with her, but I'm not going to be second guessing and speaking before the chairperson speaks. And that's how I feel. I'm still embarrassed. I hope she doesn't go and say, you know, I'm not with the library, and they were arguing. That's what it sounds like. And I just don't appreciate that. As a professional being in here, it's been a long time since I called a point of order, but I thought we had to tonight. Because we really didn't present ourselves as professional people. It's not fair to our chairs, not fair to all of us. I have some critiques also, but I'm minimizing, and then I go later on to use. So in fact, Maddie rolled her eyes with me when she said, asked the question. I said, it's not right. Maddie looked at me and said, That's the way you do things. Stop it, stop it, stop second guessing, and stop criticizing us. All of us have experience. I know I got a good 40 years. State, local, federal, government. Stop it and be professional. I hope it never comes to another meeting to where I have to be upset. Okay, freedom of speech, but stop that. Let that chairperson get things in order and ask appropriately. And we were wrong. We were wrong on this board to start that conversation. So,
Trustee Patrick?
Well, I want to thank everyone for realizing that we had to do what we had to do tonight. I understand what's from your concern. I thought we all knew that it wasn't anyone, I don't know anyone who is presently employed by the library who has the credentials to be the director. To be honest with you, I was told it was only 2 people. And it was one guy and Bonnie. And he submitted a letter withdrawing that he was interested in the position. So that took him out of it. I forgot what his reasons were in the letter that he sent. What? Okay, but I know he withdrew, so I didn't know he had anybody. And I guess looking at the urgency of trying to fill this position, I didn't have any problem with us going on. If you had somebody you could have brought to the table, that would have been fine. So I just want to thank you for taking care of business with the library and recognizing the urgency of our decision that we had to make on very limited information. Ordinarily, we would have had resume and all this other stuff. But that would have put us another week or so behind. So I just want to thank you for recognizing what we had to do. And we had to do it. So I appreciate us working as a team and making that decision. Now it is my hope that the person you selected, that she will accept the position and then, back out. But we have to be careful about how we bring her in and how it works, because I know that this is not the person. Did that happen? And I don't care. I'll tell it to his face. So we have to help them in terms of building a working relationship. That's the only reason I'm saying that, is to make sure that we help them work together as a team. I'm not saying nothing against the other person. I just want to be sure that we help, because I don't know what we would have done without that all this time. So that's my take.
A couple of things I want to touch on. First is Jim. Seems like he has the other working with other candidates, I think that professionalism, the demeanor,
Yeah,
in which she presented
Yeah.
herself,
resume, yeah.
that, he can change, or just improve on when he goes with other candidates. Is that how we're presented, is that what's representing our life? You can talk good on the phone, but basically, just,
Yeah.
kick back, and I understand it's, business, and you can let go of business sometimes, but that's my concern. Next thing, I do appreciate your comments and questions that you do have. It's greatly appreciated, because we have some of those things, one things up right off the top, so I do appreciate it. And I do understand Mr. Maxey's point of order to make sure it's done, because everything that you say is on point. However, it's just to making sure we look like a unit. So I understand when we talking about it. So it's just moving as a unit, which I get. Just so you know, we're one. So we get it. Those are excellent questions, though. So don't, everything we say is right. But I just want to thank y'all for today. Special meeting, it went well. We got some things accomplished, and looking forward to working with Ms. Collins.
Yes, so again, I'm glad we got both items handled and so, I agree with Mr. Maxey that I could have addressed those questions after the candidates, my concerns after the candidates left. But I will say this, I do not like being blindsided when I walk into this meeting, when there's ample time and opportunities to have things communicated to us. We're not making decisions, but you're just communicating the status quo. So we all walk in knowing what to expect. And that did not happen, and this is not the first time that has not happened. So I'm asking you to make sure that we're informed. Any documents that you get from admin or from our attorneys should be shared with all of us. We are a team. We run this library together. You happen to be the chair and facilitate the meetings, but we are a team, and we equally have a say and a right sitting at this table. And I don't like not having information shared with you in a timely fashion. And that's what happened today. So that's all I'm going to say. I hope that it will improve as we move forward.
Okay, my closing comments, I appreciate everyone coming together and understanding that I am human, but at the same time, we don't want to, what's the word I want to use? Sugarcoat anything. How it's working collectively together. But that's something we need to learn to do, because so many sidebars happen. Okay, and they come across, and then when we come together collectively, it becomes something totally different. So collectively, is something that we need to do. I want to make sure that everyone is aware of what we're doing and moving forward. I look forward to working with everyone in the future. The documents that I did receive, I'll make sure to get them. I'm looking forward to us being a more productive team. I think we can do this if we don't have any agendas, and we don't do sidebars, and then come back together and really issue with the team like it's something pending. So on that note, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting. I move to adjourn. Second. It's been moved in second. Any discussion? We need a vote.
All right. Treasurer Hatchett.
Yes.
Trustee Weatherspoon.
Yes.
Trustee Maxey.
Yes.
Chair Richardson.
Yes.
Secretary Allen, yes. It has been moved. Approved.
Okay.
All right.
8:05.
8:12.
Yes. Okay. We got through 2 meetings. So.
Hey, Josh.
I will
Thank
turn
you.
this on.
I didn't know about.